Hello friends and welcome to Picturesology. In this quick snap video, we will learn about placement of Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn for Aries Ascendant horoscope. And when Aries is the first house of your chart, then Capricorn falls into the 10th house. So this video is also about placement of Jupiter in the 10th house when the ascendant sign is Aries. So when Aries is the rising sign, the sign of Sagittarius falls in the 9th house and the sign of Pisces falls in the 12th house, and these two signs are owned by Jupiter. So 9th house and 12th house will be directly affected by lordship by Jupiter. Now Jupiter is placed in the 10th house, so obviously 10th house matters will have a significant impact because of this placement of Jupiter over here. And in Vedic astrology, Jupiter is ascribed few special aspects. Jupiter aspects 5th house from itself, which will be 2nd house in this case. It aspects 7th from itself, which will be the 4th in this case. And it aspects 9th from itself, which will be the 6th house of enemies in this case. So you see, just one placement of Jupiter will have an impact on a large part of your life. And with a minute analysis, we can come up with an umpteen number of effects of this Jupiter. But in next few minutes, we will concentrate mostly on some of the most important and things which are practically visible in a person's life. So before we begin with any analysis, very first thing to note is that we have an ascendant Aries, and Aries is lorded by the fiery planet Mars. Now Aries, being the first sign of zodiac, is also known as the sign of Big Bang. It has that kind of energy, that kind of violent energy at times, and nonetheless it is the most energetic sign of the zodiac. So Aries ascendant is inherently very restless, inherently itching to do things, and in this case you have Jupiter, which is debilitated in the sign of Capricorn. Now Jupiter debilitation basically means that the person is deeply inclined towards material success. People with Jupiter debilitation gives more importance to practical aspect of life rather than philosophical. For these kind of people, if Jupiter in Capricorn folks, if they are religious, then for them providing a bread to a hungry person is more important than just chanting God's name sitting in a corner. They really like things to happen in real life world, practical world. And now combine this Aries ascendant with this placement of Jupiter. What you get is a personality which is highly ambitious and sort of very restless to get success in life, and success especially in the material world, success in the tangible sense, earning money, earning name and fame, having good life, having good home, having property. These kind of people have a strong urge towards that success. Now, and unless Mars is badly placed, people with this placement eventually get success. They don't stop until they reach their goal. So this Jupiter here is actually a very good recipe for success in the material world. So we saw that Jupiter here would definitely make a person really ambitious and at the same time hardworking, because Jupiter is in the 10th house of work. But one very important aspect of this placement is, generally when people are very ambitious, very restless about success, they tend to drift towards unethical means of success, but not this Jupiter. Because of this Jupiter out here, it is lord of the 9th house. 9th house is the house of your dharma, which means basically things which are right to do, right things to do. And when that lord, even if debilitated, is placed in the 10th house, person becomes very aware of his actions. He really not only wants success in life, he also wants good name and fame. He wants to be recognized as someone who is doing good to the society. It gives a urge to be looked up to. Someone who, almost like a religious head, wants others to look up to them for their good work in the society. Though they will mostly be focused towards the financial activities, towards the business activities, but they want really good name, and with that money, they, especially later in life, spend that money towards social welfare as well. And it all happens because Jupiter is Lord of 9th house. Now, another very strong aspect is, again, when people become generally ambitious, then it is usually associated with unfulfilled heart. A heart which is full of many pains, or someone who doesn't take care of their family or something like that, but not again with this Jupiter. This Jupiter has a direct aspect on the 4th house as well as the 2nd. So what happens is, 2nd aspect and 4th, both of them represents your family, and 4th house especially represents your inner emotions. So it shows that the person generally would be happy internally, even though they are ambitious, even though they are restless when it comes to success in the life, but when it comes to family, they would be devoted. This placement at least shows that person wants to take good care of their family, and in his own heart they would remain content. However, because Jupiter is Lord of 12th also shows your losses or your expenses, place where you spend money, and coupled with simultaneous aspect on the 2nd house, what it shows is these kind of folks, they tend to spend money on their family, they want to take good care of these guys, but they themselves generally do not enjoy their own wealth as much as others or even their family members might like them to. For when it comes to their own, spending on their own, they do not get full happiness because they are mostly involved in work all the time. Now, because of the aspect of Jupiter in the 4th house and presence of Jupiter in the 10th house, generally this placement gives good mother and at the same time good father. Now there is a small twist here, that 9th lord, which shows luck, and it also shows your family's luck, your father's luck. Because the 9th lord is debilitated here, many times people with this placement tend to either not care about their paternal wealth, they don't like to take money from their parents, or even if they do get that money, they tend to spend on their family or give it away to their siblings, because the Lord of 9th is debilitated, meaning they themselves would not keep that money, they themselves would not like to reap the fruits of their parents' labor, but they generally would give that away. And one thing to sort of take care a little bit is that this aspect on the 6th house. So Jupiter's aspect on the 6th house can give you, and simultaneous aspect on the 2nd, tendency to eat especially sweets a lot, and it can also give related troubles. 6th house is the house of diseases, and Jupiter, wherever Jupiter aspects, it increases the significations of that house, whether it's good or bad. So Jupiter would tend to increase diseases which could be related to Jupiter's own significations, which is related to fat, which is related to sweets. So due care should be taken for these kind of things. Now finally, I want to stop this video with a quiz, and the question is, see, Jupiter here is the Lord of 12th house. Among many things, I always say that you can get to know about a lot of different nitty-gritties of various areas of your life from this one placement. So apart from many things, 12th house is the house which shows your pleasures, which shows where you spend money, and not just money, where you spend your life energies, and one of the areas is your sexual pleasures. So I want to just ask to all my listeners who might have obviously interest in astrology, what kind of signification this Jupiter shows. It's Lord of 12th. Jupiter is a spiritual planet, but it's debilitated and it's in the 10th house of work. So what does it show when it comes to this area of life? Please put your comments in this video and I will explain this in the next part of this placement, where I will take some of these matters in minute details. So I hope, my friends, you really would have liked and understood something about this placement of Jupiter. Please do like and subscribe to my channel to continue to receive updates like this. I really thank you for watching and being with me so far, and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.